Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing our Night of Champions review, wrap up, just what I thought personally of the show and what happened during the show. Personally, I'm going to say it right now, this was another fantastic show, start to finish. Just once again, just so many, like, the shocking moments are just so, in the Triple H era especially, the shocking moments are generally shocking. Like, in the Vince McMahon era, we were like, oh, that's shocking. We had a little whiff of that. But in the Triple H era, it's like, oh my god, like that happened. Oh my god. Like I thought this was gonna happen like a long time later. This is what I like about Triple H shows. I for some reason the PLEs under Triple H just hook me. But anyways, I'm in New York right now, and I just recently spent all morning walking around the city. Got to see some pretty cool stuff. So I'm back at the hotel just for a minute to record this video. So AJ Styles and Seth Rollins started out Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is something that in my predictions video, I said would happen, and Seth came out in drip. I mean, why? What else would Seth come out in? And Seth and AJ had a banger. I think it was like around 25 minutes that these guys were fighting for, and my God, like reverse avalanche, DDT moves. AJ Styles hitting a pedigree. I've never seen AJ Styles try a pedigree, but Seth and AJ were hitting everything. Seth got his head driven on the mat. Seth was kicking. Seth stomped AJ's arm. This match was just exactly the way that we wanted it to go. And I don't think this match was going to even have a failure to it. But in the end, after one of the best one-on-one matches that I've seen all year. And I know this is a term used loosely for everything, but I can generally say that I was very hooked throughout this match. Seth Rollins got the job done, and he is the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. They're not keeping the lineage. Seth Rollins is the brand new inaugural World Heavyweight Championship. And what made it better is that Triple H brought the title in the ring to present it to Seth Rollins. I love that. Triple H introduced his title in the first place. So, and we know in the past that Triple H loves handing out inaugural titles. I just like this. It's the perfect result. AJ winning would have been great, but there would have been something weird in my stomach if that happened. Seth Rollins is the very satisfying winner, and Seth Rollins, we can finally say it, is a world champion again, and Seth Rollins is near the top of the WWE. Now, obviously, I'm not going to jump to say that he's a bigger babyface than Cody, but only time will tell once the crowd sings its song with gold around Seth Rollins. Will that be the case? Now, like I said, this beginning match was so awesome, and we still had a lot of matches to go. We had 6 to go in total. This match was easily my favorite match of the night. From beginning to finish, I actually popped out loud a couple of times. This was great entertainment, and I also popped out loud when Seth Rollins got the 1, 2, 3 and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Next up, we had Becky Lynch, who dressed up in a Kill Bill attire, which is sick. If you guys don't know, Kill Bill is one of the most violent movies ever. So, Becky Lynch wasn't messing around. And then Mother Trish Stratus also in the fight. And I gotta say that this match was disappointing a little bit. I still had a lot of fun because Becky and Trish are on my screen. But this match was alright. But you can clearly tell that, Trish did some things right, but some of the faster moving stuff, you could tell that Trish needed to slow it down a little bit. But overall, watching Becky versus Trish is never something that I would complain about ever. But the match was really going well. I think the longer this match went on, the more entertaining it was. You got a first gear, second gear, third gear, and then you get into that third gear. And when Becky was outside the ring, Zoe Stark hit a G360 on Becky Lynch. Zoe Stark was the last person I was expecting. They legitimately just said here, we're pushing Zoe Stark all to the top. That's what they said here. This is the biggest women's rivalry in the game, the most personal women's rivalry in the game. And they go like, well, here's some of Zoe Stark. And Zoe Stark, and after that, the rest was academic. Zoe Stark ended up letting Trish Stratus beat Becky Lynch, and this is what I called it. I thought it was gonna be Lita. I was certain it was gonna be Lita, and that Trish and Lita would be heels because they're already a tag team. They already tagged a couple of times, but Zoe Stark, it just this is what I like. Like Zoe Stark, I've got a million questions about Zoe Stark. What Zoe Stark is going to do in this in particular. It will be answered on Raw. I'm sure Zoe Stark will be on Raw with Trish. But like I said, shocking ending in a good way. I watched NXT. I think Zoe Stark deserves it. Zoe Stark is a phenomenal competitor in the ring as a women's competitor. As for Becky, Becky Lynch is you know how Becky Lynch is gonna respond after she's cut. History tells us that Becky Lynch responds well when she gets cut in the face. Next up we have Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, who came out in a nice attire there. Sammy did the same thing. I absolutely love the attires that Sammy and Mustafa Ali wore, and Gunther, who just has that badass aura. The match I was expecting to be great, and my goodness, yes, they gave Mustafa Ali a lot of offense. Thank you Papa H, thank you producers for giving us this match the way it was. We didn't just see a Gunther squash, which we saw a actual good Mustafa Ali match, which is something I actually love. And though Mustafa Ali did a lot of offense, one Gunther bomb allowed Gunther to retain the Intercontinental Championship, which should be the result. And I think Mustafa Ali is not going to get another title shot. But it was good to see Mustafa Ali to get this chance. And I'm assuming that we're going to move into Gunther versus Matt Riddle, judging on how the last couple of Monday Night Raws went, which I'm fine with. I just don't hope that there's a lot of mic back and forth on the mic with Matt Riddle. I just hope it's Matt Riddle straight up fighting and beating the shit out of Gunther. But you know what I mean? I think this was a great match. Mustafa Ali versus Gunther delivered, and that was that. Also, LA Knight was in the stand. They showed a couple of stars in the stands, and I think the biggest star, the future Money in the Bank winner, LA Knight, was in the stands, which I thought was cool. The people were making jokes that they traveled all the way to Saudi to sit in the front row, and it was funny because they also went on to a festival, so people were saying, oh, LA Knight is just looking like a kid that got invited to go to Night of Champions, which I thought was a little bit funny. Next up we had Asuka versus Bianca Belair. I was totally expecting Bianca to retain. I was very excited for this match because I generally think that Asuka and Bianca are going to put on a great match, but Asuka and Bianca did put on a little bit of a good match. I mean, they're doing Asuka right here. People were complaining about how Asuka wrestles. This is how Asuka fights. It's absolute down to the ground, dirty fighting. And just when you think Bianca was going to pull it out, no. Asuka ended the 400-day reign. One of the top women's title reigns ever, and I'm not even kidding. Bianca had one of the best women's championship reigns ever. Was ended by Asuka. How on earth? Like I'm still in shock that Asuka was the one to end it. Like I know Io wasn't gonna end it, and because of Io not ending it, I didn't think Asuka was gonna end it. But Triple H. But now it's like, will Bianca go heel? What will happen? And oh my God! It's like Bianca didn't retain. What challengers could we get for Asuka? Charlotte kind of commented on Twitter, and personally, I don't think Charlotte versus Asuka would be okay, I guess, but Asuka should beat Charlotte because Charlotte beat Asuka the first time, so wouldn't it be right for Asuka to get revenge here? But super happy for Asuka. She deserves to be running a women's division and should be running the SmackDown women's division. Next up, and also, before I get any further, Asuka versus Io at SummerSlam, please. Next up, not really much to say here. Rhea versus Natalia. 1 minute. Rhea squashed Natalia. I do feel bad for Natalia because she's been in WWE for as long as I've watched it, which is a long time. Like, I remember watching Natalia when I first watched wrestling. But Rhea winning in 1 minute kind of was a stinker. I thought Natalia was still good in the ring, but they didn't even get a chance for her to show that. Rhea retained, and I'm sure that Rhea is going to. I don't know what Rhea's going to move on to. The Raw. This is why Raw is unpredictable. I have no clue what they're going to do with Rhea next. Be very interesting to see that. Next up, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Shout out to the Saudi crowd. Another loud ass whoa. Cody versus Brock was a little bit boring to me. Brock won, but I really wasn't digging a lot of Brock versus Cody. Now, a lot of people may be a little bit disappointed with that, but up to this point, besides Rhea and Natalia, Night of Champions was a full-blown success. It's just that I enjoyed the match at Backlash together. I don't know if it was the crowd, but this time around, I really wasn't into Cody versus Brock. Maybe due to the fact that Brock had Cody in the Kimura lock for like 5 minutes. And then when Brock locked it in again, the match ended, Cody passed out, and Brock won. I mean, there's not really much else to say here. This just I thought this match was gonna be different than it was, I guess. I thought Cody was gonna lose by pin. They're trying to protect Cody from being pinned, but overall this just wasn't it for me. And also want to show you a quick little Triple H Seth Rollins picture here. Next up, we had the main event, which was bonkers. Bloodline versus Sami and KO. Sami Zayn speaking a little bit Arabic before the match was legitimately great to see. Sami's one of the most down to earth wrestlers ever. He's just legitimately so likable, and getting the crowd hooked. If the crowd wasn't already hooked, Sami put him in. Sami put that hook around them and then some after speaking Arabic. But this match was crazy. I mean, Sami versus Roman, that academic, first time since Elimination Chamber. Kevin Owens and Solo. This match lived up to the hype, and then some. Sami was getting under Roman's skin because Sami's not afraid to tell how it is, which Roman doesn't like. And in reality, Roman and Solo were on their way to becoming tag team champions. Sami and KO tried to fight all they could, but Roman and Solo were just that damn good. Then the Usos came out, and we knew this was going to happen. This isn't a surprise to anybody. The Usos wanted to help out the Tribal Chief. They still want to have Roman be the champion. And then when things went wrong and Roman turned around to see the Usos super kick Solo by accident, we got the big turn. Roman Reigns shoved both of the Usos before Jimmy super kicked the lights out of Roman, and then the bloodline disintegrated like a piece of paper in a burning fire. And Jimmy not only super kicked Roman once, but he did it twice. And my God, was this is one of the moments of the year. The bloodline, you can say what you want. This just to me says that the bloodline is done and dusted. And to me, this was one of the moments of the year. I popped. People in my hotel room probably heard me. I don't care. This is way more important than that. This was awesome. And then Jey Uso, the dude needs to go to a trauma center, because that is how much trauma that this dude has been through. This dude is like the center of attention, and it's so underrated to see. Like, Jey Uso is like that one guy that can't say anything and everything happens around him. Maybe on Jey Uso's gonna have to eventually make a full-blown decision. He just can't keep bandwagoning back and forth. But overall, Jey can't believe it. Jimmy defending his decision. Jey Uso can't believe it. He's like, oh my God, my brother just turned on Roman. Like, Roman's against us now. Oh my God, we're enemies of Roman. We're enemies of the 1,000-day champion and all that. And Roman Reigns just can't believe what happened. He's not Roman 5 belts. Roman was on the side of a losing match, and Sami and KO are going to continue with the titles, which I really like to see. Sami and KO are great champions. I think they're going to hold the titles for a wicked long time, and I didn't think they were going to lose. So with that being said, that was pretty much a roundup of Night of Champions. Overall, out of 10, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Great. Besides Rhea and Natalya, the ending of Cody versus Brock, this was a very good PLE, start to finish. It was hooking. It was well worth the time. And I was watching it in America. Peacock, hotel Wi-Fi was good. And I had no problem watching this, so that was good. Thank you guys for watching. And my next video will be coming up, that I will share some photos of my in-person Monday Night Raw visit. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.